Good evening, dear friends. Welcome to Deep Talks, virtual stage of love and relationships. We are with a wonderful soul, Neelima Mohol, a psychotherapist, and she has took out her special time to be with me. And I cannot thank Lord above enough for letting me cross the globe and reach the international countries and also cover as an international speaker yesterday business mastery boot camp. I have left my seat right now for an hour or so just for my deep talks, and I hope the viewers who are watching us and the ones who will be watching this episode, we have something special because it is someone who was always watching my deep talks shows, sitting as a viewer, and now today she is on my show, my admirer, my fan, a psychotherapist who is a prolific writer and has written on family, children, their issues, and parents. So, welcome, Neelima. How are you feeling today?
Thank you, Gurleen. It's a big pleasure to have with you.
God bless. God bless. So, what inspired
Thank
you
you.
in life to be a psychotherapist?
Uh, well, as a psychology was my favorite subject. Uh,
Wonderful.
Basically, after my BCom, I done my Montessori course, and through child psychology,
Okay.
my teacher guided me to enter into this profession. So here I
That's a wonderful, short,
am.
and sweet answer by you that you were interested in psychology, study of human behavior. My dear viewers, it's
Yeah.
not everybody's cup of tea to be always studying human behavior. And as we
Mm.
rightly state, what is your take on Nilima, those people who fear going to counselors? Like, there is a dogma in the society, not now these days
Yeah.
as much as it was in the yesteryears, कि एक psychotherapist
Right.
के पास जाएंगे, we'll go to a psychotherapist, we are mad enough. What is your take
Pagal.
on it? How would you want our viewers to understand?
See, human body is ultimately an engine. Okay, so
Yes,
we have to work 24 hours. We have to take rest.
yes,
We get exhausted mentally, physically.
yes,
For physical fatigue,
yes.
as we go to the doctor, why it is not open to go for something mental health, to seek mental health profession.
True, true.
And secondly,
Wonderful.
as the when the car gets shut down, you have to go to the
Yes,
mechanic. So our body is also a
true.
mechanic, is also a machine, right?
Very right.
And we
Very
have
right.
to take care of ourselves. And
Yes.
being mentally upset or something, or seeking help from a professional like you and me, is not a wrong thing,
Yeah,
right?
it's not a wrong.
As we go to
Very right.
orthopedics,
Very right.
other people also, lawyers.
Very,
Uh, the
yeah.
first question I would like to add, Gurleen,
Why
uh,
not?
like I had read a book, How to Read a Person Like a Book, and that interested me
Okay.
more to enter into psychology.
Wonderful.
Yeah,
So, so basically, my dear viewers, any book can inspire you for the profession you are in. An avid reader will understand what we are talking about. Inspiration can come from any source. So maybe Nilima was captured by a thought in a book. So how to read human mind. By the way, I felt like it was the inner calling as a child. I always was interested in knowing the nuisances of why my
mm,
mom behaves a certain way, why my dad is a certain way, why my sister behaves in a certain way. So I believe I picked the things from there, and why the friends of mine used to always come and share their deep griefs with me. Even now, Gurleen is only there
okay.
on the calls when there is a distress or when people are wanting help. If they just remember my number, just dial her number when there is an issue. Gurleen will help, and it is something that is amazing because that is actually your source of, letting yourself know that where you stand as a counselor or as a friend who's to be trusted. So, very well put
Yeah,
forward
very
by
true.
you. Uh, yeah. So, does family
Very
counseling
true, very true.
holds any does family counseling hold any relevant when you are dealing with an individual counseling a individual person in the issue which he or she is facing? Do you think they both go hand in hand, or is it a separate thing, like individual centered counseling and then a family counseling? How do you deal with
Yeah,
the cases?
individual centric and family, if need be, it depends on the case.
Okay,
But more
okay,
these days, more than children, parents are in need of more counseling because that is
okay,
affecting the child by the behavior. I mean, I've been working
okay,
in a school as a counselor for 10 years.
okay.
So this
Oh
was my
wow,
experience, This was my experience.
wonderful,
Like
wonderful.
parents
So
need more counseling than the child.
yeah. Wonderful, wonderful. So do you have any incidents in mind which you would want to share with our viewers wherein you dealt with a parent who actually needed counseling? I mean, one anonymously, not naming the person, or any case that is in your
Yeah,
mind.
yeah. I would like to tell you, definitely. I would like to share one incident. Like the child was a weak child in health, in a sense.
Okay,
So the
okay,
parents were overprotective, especially mother. And when
okay.
I told her, you leave the child. If you don't leave him, he won't be able to grow. I mean,
True,
he would be helped by his sister. If anything goes
true,
wrong in school, he would be helped by his sister. He wasn't able to fight back. So, this was the case. So, when I said
okay,
that why don't you leave him and send him for summer camps, let him fall, let him get hurt, and
true.
uh, immediately after a month or so, she did that and she thanked
Hmm.
me for the change in him.
Wonderful. That's amazing. That's amazing. I mean, that is
Yeah.
an incident that Neelima Mohol shared with us, my dear viewers. The parents, if they watch this episode, I'm sure that sometimes it's not the child as much as the parent who needs to understand where things can go wrong from their side as well. So I always prefer, like, if a child is having an issue,
Absolutely.
I counsel the child separately and the parents also separately, and then both of them together if the child is of that age. So, and can understand.
Yeah.
So very wonderfully put up. Nilima, you must have heard about toxic relationships. In the modern times,
Yes.
people are living in there are ladies who are subjugated to pressures at home. Even the men. Sometimes I feel that
Yes,
women are
yes.
misusing their powers. So, so what is your view about being in a toxic relationship? What is your take on it? I mean, how do you think that the
Uh,
society should change? And yeah,
yeah, so toxic really, see, basically, uh, behavior of a person depends on his experience, his past
hmm,
experiences rather. So, it's
yeah,
like uh, why the person is behaving in such a pattern. There is a pattern of behavior
exactly.
in each person.
True.
So,
Yes.
and today's world is so stressful that no one has time to even think or, that
Very well.
compassion or understanding is absolutely lacking in people. So,
True.
you need to be very calm and composed, understanding, compassionate to 99, 100%, I would say, but which is not
Yes.
happening. And
Exactly.
regarding toxic uh, behavior, one should also not tolerate the behavior. If it this
Yes.
can ruin that person's life who is tolerating it by maybe
Exactly.
giving depression or maybe
Yes.
by getting suicidal thoughts. anyhow it can
True.
damage him, or it can
Exactly.
even give a
True.
stroke forever.
Exactly. So,
Yeah,
Nilima Mohol has put forward a wonderful relation of being psychologically free from toxic relationships. She is stating that nobody should stay inside a negative relationship. By this term, negative here, I mean that if you are subjugated, if
yeah,
you're treated as a doormat, if you're physically abused and mentally harassed, my dear viewers, if
yeah,
anyone who's watching this episode is under this kind of treatment at their place, kindly refer to someone who's a psychotherapist like Nilima, or you can refer to me, or someone you think that you can go out and ease out, because this relationship is not meant for you. Do not take the burden of it on your mind and carry the luggage of it, because in the coming times, you might not realize just now. In coming times, you are going to actually devastate not only yourself but people around you. So, being a speaker, I take the center stage of attaching many words while I'm speaking, but what I'm speaking is valuable enough, and I feel that it has a lot of worth, a lot of potential, because we have Nilima Mohol, a great psychotherapist, with us all the way from Bombay. If I'm not wrong, Nilima, you stay in Bombay, I believe.
yes, yes, yes,
Wonderful, wonderful. So she has been watching our episodes, and I'm so thankful, so grateful, so honored that every time she's there, she is the one who's commenting on the comment section. So if anyone who's watching this, please, we will come to know only if you're commenting, and that will make our evening a lot better. So Nilima, in relationships, there are relationships where people switch over in relations very fast. What is your message to the viewers who are watching? Like, people are flipping partners. Like, these days, youngsters are doing it. It's a trend. They feel it's very cool to have one boyfriend, one girlfriend, two girlfriends, two boyfriends. So, what
yeah.
is your take on shift of relationships so fast? Do you think it is really necessary to know that what is your limit, what is your satisfaction? Because being a psychologist, I feel if you aren't satisfied with one, how are you actually going to be satisfied with many? And that is separate, that if you consequently, like sequentially, there is a consequence happening in your life and you enter into a relationship, that is a separate story. But intentionally getting into many relationships, what is your take on it? Do you think it is justified for the modern society to don as many avatars as they are donning? Yes, Nilima, are you there with us? Okay, my dear viewers, I think there is a little bit of technical snag in there. She's on a hold, but meanwhile, she was discussing about toxic relationships. And I am very sure that a psychotherapist talking about toxic relationship means a lot. A great deal of it is already discussed by me always in the previous episodes. But what I feel today is that in life, we all need to discuss important matters. And yes, when things are always rough, things will always be good also. So, Nilima, what do you
Yeah.
think about shift in relationships? People shifting
Uh,
relationships.
Shift in relationships has become a trend nowadays, and people don't really think before when entering into relationship. Don't even think
Very
about
right.
the, huh? Sorry?
Very right. Very right. Yeah, you are
Yeah.
audible.
So don't even think about the other person's feelings and emotions.
True.
Whether we have to look into it, whether is it a trend or the person who is shifting relationships is not happy within himself.
Exactly. So, do you think that the person himself or herself needs a counseling at this stage where one is changing relationships so fast?
Yes, absolutely. Because
Absolutely.
whatever whatever partners they shift, uh, it is neither helping anyone. And in fact, it is entering into a again toxic relationship, we can say. Depending on the person who
Okay.
is oversensitive, it can be a
Okay.
very hard time for that particular person, you
Okay.
know.
I understand. I completely agree.
So
So what Nilima is, yeah, stating is totally right, my dear viewers. Shift of relationships is good, but it is not good if it is intentionally done within a short time span and you are not realizing where you are heading in your life. You need to have a focus, you need to have a goal. Having so many goals is not great. I believe conquering one goal is enough in life, and that should be the focus of life. So that makes you attentive, that makes you given more, and also it kills your expectancy levels from the partner itself. Shifting many people in relationships actually gives you a lot of experience, my dear viewers. I understand that there are many youngsters who want to have three people inside their lives or four people because they are lacking the analysis of their own mental set somewhere. They don't know where they are wrong, or either they are narcissists where they can't take that they are wrong somewhere. So please look into it, take guidance, take help from counselors. They will be guiding you, assisting you right. So, Nilima, next question I want to
yes,
ask is, I have often dealt with erectile dysfunction cases wherein I have
okay,
realized that erectile dysfunction can also be mentally related. You know, it is not only medically related. Do you agree with it?
no, yes, absolutely, absolutely,
Absolutely. So, have the girls or in the ladies when there is menopause happening, do you feel that they
yeah,
undergo certain kind of depressive phases and they do approach you for counseling? What are the kind of symptoms they do face? If you have something to share on that topic.
yeah. I mean, yeah, they do approach and they do share,
Okay.
but then things
Okay.
are like they do approach, but then things are
Okay.
like very, either they are very hurt or being abused,
Okay.
and that has taken the toll on them,
Okay.
and that is affecting in the
Okay.
menopause period.
Okay. So, Neelima Mohol has stated that menopausal symptoms they increase if the partner at home is not looking up for the female's betterment. I think the male partners and counterparts should
Yeah,
know the symptoms of a lady undergoing menopause because that can be helping the female lead a better life, because that is one thing, like the females or the youngsters who are facing PCOD as a problem these days. Young girls who are actually eating too much and not exercising, they usually have this problem with irregular menses. I feel that they also require a lot of counseling because they need to know where their physical health is going. Apart from that, they should not hit the gym areas as often as they can pick up cycling to doing anything that is their passionate hobby and keeps their physical body fit. And mentally, you have to get guidance from someone who can give you some tips. So, do you think, Nilema,
or
premarital counseling?
I would like to add
Yeah,
something to this,
yeah,
or
why not?
yeah, also this also keeping your mentally peaceful with the help of yoga, meditation. You know,
Yes,
when you believe in yourself, having that confidence, menopause
true,
can affect, but not in much extent. If we are positive enough,
true,
yeah.
true, true. I totally agree.
So
So,
yeah,
viewers who are watching us and the ones who will be watching us later, menopausal symptoms and PCOD and all these things will only affect if you think negative. So, for just curbing that factor, you need to get going by asking assistance from psychotherapists or counselors who are well trained in letting your mind be free from such negative thoughts. So, Nilima, going to the next question, do you think premarital counseling these days should be considered before getting into wedlock?
yeah, absolutely. Because Uh, See, on the
Yeah,
bureaus, in bureaus, when you get come across any proposal, so it is not the nowadays it is not the all the true information is given in the biodata. And secondly,
exactly.
going into there has to be clarity what the requirement of a girl or a boy is, so that accordingly,
True.
they are able to decide and they are not under parental or societal pressure to get married.
I understand. Completely agree with you. So, my dear viewers,
So,
we definitely feel as psychotherapists that we have to have premarital counseling done up, and we have to cleanse our minds, because what one thinks about oneself is definitely what you know already. But what the other person thinks about you, and to take a second opinion always before getting into something, is definitely a great idea. I do believe in it, and Nilima also agrees with it. So, Nilima, that was a
yes,
wonderful answer stated by you, that sometimes facts are
thank
not
you.
very clear with people, because when they are mentally clogged,
Yeah,
they get into relationships that are actually not very good and beneficial for their mental health and the long run. So,
yeah,
so people like us, people like who are trained to deal with such relationship issues can come into the picture and make a mark there, because we would love
absolutely.
the individuals to be happy around us. Yes. So, can you
Yeah.
give the viewers some tips about how depression can be avoided, or if somebody is facing one, like phases of depression, like the winter season is coming in, so some people have depression in the winter season. So what tips can you give to the people who are facing the depression blues, like post retirement blues or
Uh,
something? Some tips for the viewers.
See, depression is something that is even we don't understand at times. Okay,
Exactly.
it is a feeling low, or at times you may cry for no reason. You may cry even if you're happy.
Yes.
Okay, these are the things
Yes.
happening when you're in depression. And
True.
you have to you have to pull yourself out with the help of
True.
music or yoga, meditation, breathing techniques. It is not apart from medication I'm talking. These therapies has to be
Yes.
used first and then go in for medication if need be. And most important thing is you need to be mentally strong and healthy
Yes.
to face each and any situation that comes across to you.
Very right. Very right. So, do you think that talking about these sexual topics, which I picked up on Deep Talks since it started, the beginning of it,
Yeah,
you're watching all the episodes. Do you think it is relevant in
yeah,
Indian society? Because I think I've set a trend these days. I have got feedback from people that, Gurleen, you're doing amazing work, because this is a trend setting example which you have done. And many psychologists, even if they've had many years of experience, they have been watching my episodes. And I feel equally adept in letting people know that yes, with practical experience of handling some cases, you can deal with certain bold topics and come across as a torch bearer. What is your take on it? Should we discuss about these
yeah,
topics
yeah.
on a media
Yes,
platform?
it
Do you
has to
think that
be.
it is good enough? It has to
Yeah,
be.
it
It
is
has
good.
to be.
It
Yeah.
has to be
So,
because the thing is,
okay.
watching the movies and children before they get any right information, even at the growing age. So they
Exactly.
have to get the right information is more necessary. So and parents should also
Exactly.
be freely talking out this topic. There's nothing wrong in talking out or being open with this topic.
Very
So
true. Very
this
true.
pornographic videos will be stopped and wrong things that are happening.
True.
Teenagers
True.
are raping young girls and all. They're ending their lives. So this won't
True.
happen.
True. True. That's wonderfully stated by you, Nilima. I am so upset with Sushant Singh's state of demise. What has
Yeah,
happened with him?
absolutely.
It could happen with anyone being in a
Very true.
relationship that's toxic, negative, or something that one is forced into, like substance abuse, drugs, alcohol, intake of it, not intentionally but unintentionally given by somebody else. So, my dear friends, if you are
Yeah.
around your friend circle and if you're around such people who are always trying to pull you down or trying to actually feel envious of you in a negative manner, kindly think about it. Try to shun those people away from your life, because somewhere I feel that
Yeah.
having a great circle of friends, you should be positive, progressive, and there should be a quality lifestyle that you should be leading. It should not be something that you're always in the fun angle and you end up ruining your own life, and not only yours. You have so many people connected to you in a line, you know. We are coming in, we should respect everybody, parents and everybody, ancestors and everyone. So, as a therapist, Nilima, which one case moved you to speak about such topics socially on media? One incident where you ever felt that we have to talk about certain things, like one case which actually was very close to your heart and you felt, oh my God, I need to, talk about such things in the public or in
Uh,
the open. Any such case?
Actually, yes. I would say suicide, regard only on suicide, I would tell you.
Okay,
Uh,
okay,
it's a case of the person I knew him very well. You can say it
okay,
was from a family itself, but that was, when he fell ill and he didn't share things with anyone. Okay,
okay,
and then I would help him with positive things and all. But when once a person has decided to give a full stop to his life, his or her
yes,
life, it's no one can help him but himself.
exactly.
But the
Very true.
whole family got disturbed.
Yes,
Entire relations got disturbed by this.
my God. That's
So
devastating.
I mean, things things are not going to be perfect always or
True,
happening always. You have to have the
true.
guts to face the realities of life. Harsh realities, I would say. And
Very,
illness is not something that is a big crime here or big taboo, I would say.
true,
But people think
true.
when the person is ill, something is definitely going to be wrong. And this worst thing happened was because he searched on Google.
Oh, okay,
I mean, yeah, whether it will happen or not, whether the cure will take place, whether he'll be cured or not. So it
that
was
is so
all, yeah. And
so.
I mean, I agree to one thing that that was just a source. Maybe his life was, or his part of life was only that much. His role of life was
Yes,
in our life for this many years. The
true.
way we each are going to die is not written.
Yes,
Each one is
yes,
going to have a death.
yes. My dear viewers, if you're watching us and the ones who'll be watching us later, time and again, I would love to suggest that never, never commit such a folly. It's a crime, according to me, to actually end up your life, my dear viewers, because
Absolutely.
somewhere in our country itself, lot many suicides are happening. I personally have saved few lives while they were committing such acts, and it is a grave concern for the nation. Nation needs you more than that. You don't need to end up your life for proving something to someone or validating someone enough that you could not do something and you just gave up. Why to give up? God has created you for wonderful opportunities. And if it is not that one door has closed, there could be three, four doors coming. If only you don't give up. Who knows, the moment you were giving up, there was someone actually trying to hold you. So, my dear viewers, if you are actually watching this episode, it's a folded hand request that never give up in life. You all have great opportunities, a learning platform like social media applications where you are already seeing the consequences of suicides and how long it takes for a family to come out of it. It is not easy.
Very
So,
true, very true.
Nilima, if you weren't a therapist in life, which profession would you have been in? I would love to know.
Hospital management.
Wow, wonderful. I mean,
Yeah.
does yeah, does something inspire you to be in the hospital management or something?
uh, yeah, I mean, I always like to take care of people, and so that has always been one of my dreams.
Okay, wonderful.
Yeah, taking
That's a
care of
very great,
patients.
yeah, that's a very great dream apart from being a psychotherapist to get into hospital management. That is wonderful. In
Yeah,
any ways, we are related to medical fraternities indirectly and
yeah,
directly. So that's wonderful.
yeah,
So,
absolutely.
what are your views about extramarital affairs these days? Do you think that opening up an extramarital affairs is also valuable, because there are certain section of females who believe that their husbands, if they are going and laying down with another female, should never be talked about openly, and they don't actually take it because they feel that they have a stereotype in their mind that it cannot be their husband. Do you really agree that men always have a liking for other females and it continues from yesteryears to even today? I don't think so. It's bad for the men to actually wander in search of the female, because sometimes I feel that that Saki Savitri image of the yesteryears is dropping down
No,
these
no,
days.
absolutely not. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, so there are things that women need to digest with time periods changing, that there could be your own man going and sleeping with someone because you aren't able to satisfy him, or you aren't being able to actually look into his food of thoughts, which he is actually trying to be talking to you. Or maybe by now you should be knowing what he actually wants. If your man is, there with you, you need to, you need to sit down and discuss many facets apart from only sex. What is your take on extramaritals? I openly talk about it because I feel that I have the courage to speak that men cannot be tamed. I think they need to be handled very carefully. That's my take on it. What do you think about it?
I think it depends on if it's
Yes.
okay, it's cool. So
Yeah.
he's hurting the person in front of him, or relationships are being taken granted, by
Yeah.
entering into extramarital granted, and
Yes.
so this is which is not right actually, and it depends on
Very,
individual's
very right.
perception whether to accept or not. And if that is giving a toxic relationship, topics, it is entering into
Yes.
a toxic relationship. So that
Yes.
is again harmful from each person's
Exactly.
point of view. I mean, it
True.
depends on the each person's sensitivity.
True. I totally agree with Nilima Mohol that it depends on each person's interest and sensitivity to hold such topics in their lives, So, my dear viewers, if you are into an extramarital affair, do
Yeah,
not take the other person for granted or as an object, because, you are satisfying your lust, but you are actually playing with someone's emotion if that person is emotional, because for you, it is fun, but for the other person, it's not fun anymore. So kindly be very clear. Kindly look into the aspects that you're fulfilling your roles in the commitment itself, and I have something to add to it. You would not ever go to a lady or a man if your relationship is actually so strong. You are weak, and that is how you're looking in for happiness, peace, and love outside
Yes,
that
very true.
relationship. Yes. So if the men who are already committed and they're willing
Yes,
to
yes.
marry somebody and they are hitting on other females, I have a point. Look into your analysis where that 4 years, 6 years, 8 years of relationship of commitment actually fell weak, that you had to approach another soul and you actually feel happier
Yeah,
meeting that person. Because there is something more to just
absolutely.
commitment. Don't get into the concept of fixing that commitment as a pressure in your mind to actually enter into a wedlock, because maybe that was not your cup of tea. My dear viewers, this is a serious thing which I'm talking of. Look into the stars, look
Absolutely.
into the divine intervention, look into where when you feel happy, look into where you feel effortless in a relationship. You don't have to project your other self in front of that person whom you actually meeting more than your committed relationship. That's what I have to say.
Yes.
So,
And
apart,
there cannot be any, yeah, there cannot be any comparison. All fingers are
yes,
not same.
yes, true.
So whenever
So,
parents come to, whenever, I tell this to each and every parent that don't compare yourself or your child to others. All fingers are not same.
true,
Each one has their own potential.
very right.
Each one has their own potential.
And Nilima Mohol has stated very aptly that everybody, each finger has its importance in a hand, my dear viewers. We all have different people staying under one roof, and we all are united apart from people coming in from various cultures, backgrounds, gender, caste, color, creed. We all need to respect each one, and we need to understand where we are moving towards. Are we actually looking into quality living, or we are just making our lives even more cool in the modern times but ruining our lives for the longer run? My dear viewers, look into your present. Do not stay in the past, and do not over analyze for the future. Sometimes your plans don't work the way you want them to, because God has created you to to actually live the moment, and you need to realize that master plans also get swayed up. Why? Because there is something more to it.
Absolutely.
You have to fit out, you have to actually deal with the disasters that come naturally, and you have to learn how to manage these things, whether it
Absolutely.
is giving your commitment for a while and thinking about your own life where you feel happy. Do you really feel happy with the
Yeah.
person you are with? Can you cut out your life with that person? Can you walk an extra mile with that person? Can you really speak the truth with that person? Can you actually be without your false self with that person? And can you actually be friends with that person, my dear friends? That is the take on being in a relationship with someone whom you would always want to walk ahead with. So, my dear Nilima,
Absolutely, Gurleen.
I mean, psychologists also fall into the depressive angle sometimes because they're dealing with so many
Yes.
cases. How do you think, like you are a psychotherapist, I'm a psychotherapist, we are discussing. I mean, I have had sleepless nights, though there is, when we learn, there should be no counter
Yeah.
transference of a client coming to you.
Yeah.
Sometimes, youngsters, even as young males who approach me, I know what kind of approaches come, whether they're coming for the case or they're coming for something extra. We
Hmm.
have to draw the line. So, what is your take on that? Do you agree that psychologists also need guidance sometimes? That is my question. I totally agree with it. I totally agree. Sometimes we need
Yes,
to
yes,
clear our
absolutely.
yeah, we need to clear our
Yes,
mental bill.
absolutely. Because what happens is we are there for everyone, and we also
Yes,
need someone to open up
yes,
to. Because we
true.
are human beings, yeah. I mean, we are
Exactly,
not God. So it is
exactly. So,
natural. How much ever therapies we use for ourselves, venting out is the only solution. Venting out can
exactly,
help you, to reflect on yourself back. Where are you
exactly,
lacking, or what is really hurting you when you talk to
exactly.
some level headed people?
Very true, very true. So Nilima has pointed out, my dear viewers, the ones who will be watching us later, a very important point, which I really feel is important. People might not accept it as important. We need to have level-headed people. A very apt point put forward by her. The ones who will understand you, my dear viewers, you cannot just go and vent out anything to anybody because they are not understanding you. What is the point you're
Absolutely.
venting out? Maybe somebody doesn't want to even
And they,
listen to you. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. So,
and whatever story you share with them, they might
yes,
take disadvantage.
exactly,
So, you have to be
exactly.
very careful whom you share what.
Exactly. So, my dear viewers, that's an important point coming in relationships. If you feel that you are taxed, stressed, and all, even I have my confidential friends wherein I pour out and I always let them know that, okay, can I have your a minute or two, or maybe a minute or two turns out to be half an hour or 20 minutes when they know that Miss Gurleen needs to talk out or something. So, respecting the fact that we have to be loyal towards each other, we have to have that transparency where things aren't moving out. You need to understand, my dear
Yeah,
viewers, where are you putting your garbage and where actually is that person coming along with a lid? Because that lid is very important. The part of lid here I'm talking about is that one should share things with someone who keeps the lid closed. It has to be
yeah,
confidential.
absolutely.
Doesn't have to
Absolutely.
move out. You cannot have those garbage bins
Yeah,
without it, you know. And this is something I'm talking by giving an example of a dustbin. Why? Because that came to me instantly. There is something that maybe you will understand the way I'm talking, because in mental therapists, when we deal with all these cases, we actually strike out examples and we actually deal with cases not as cases but as friends. We make them, we build a rapport, and we don't try to put forward mental health issues as tagged. We don't tag these issues. People are
yeah,
tagging issues,
absolutely.
they're creating more dogma in the society, and that's creating a lot of fear, my dear viewers. Do not term depression as a taboo anymore. It's anything that's
Yes,
but natural. Bipolar depressive disorders, any kind of disorders, it can happen to anybody. Schizophrenia, any kind of especially gifted child or something. Please respect them, because who knows what's happening to them until you are there in their shoes. We should never laugh at them, because this is something, if we treat them with love, they will give love back, and they are so much talented, my dear viewers. People these days, Nilima, you must be knowing about it, are using these kind of people for earning a lot of money by making them walk
yeah,
on the
yeah,
ramps. Yeah, empowering them is something different, but they are utilizing them as the front face of their banners and actually utilizing them. and
absolutely.
i and I feel so really very bad for them, because it is a ramp walk for them, for the normal people, but for them
Yeah,
it is their life walk. My dear viewers, it's for them a life walk. We need to respect them. We don't need to misuse them for earning an extra bucks. I totally
absolutely.
disagree with the concept of those people who are flashing their banners apart from having a lot of wealth at their corners, and they're running NGOs. It is so sad. It is
Yeah,
so sad that mental health is going at a different angle. It's being projected
absolutely.
very badly in society by elitists of the females in Tri-City itself. I'm talking of. I totally disagree with this concept wherein you are actually misusing the gifts of those people who are actually gifted. You can empower them without putting them in the media. You can actually empower them. You can do that. You can actually do that, and you can do much service by utilizing your money, by going and giving them some gifts and empowering them with education. My dear viewers, with education, and look into their families. Ask them what they can do as therapists or as people, as normal humans, to make them live comfortably. That is the best you can do, my dear viewers, as a citizen of India, as a therapist, as a psychologist, as a normal, simple soul. I have this thing in my mind. I wanted to share it badly, but I'm talking on deep talks because I usually feel very sad to see businessmen utilizing mental health topics as a point to earn money. Stop doing that. If you're watching
Absolutely.
this, stop doing that. It's a serious issue.
Absolutely.
Stop doing it. Yeah. So, Nilima, in
And
India, there are many taboos, which one taboo would you love to break and why? I mean, you would love to break if given a chance.
Live in relationship.
Oh, wonderful claps. I mean, all the viewers are watching this. You have the freedom to live in together and discuss about your life with the partner. You can, so
Yeah,
that you test before entering into a relation. You come to know about reality of what is there: deception, impotency, any kind of a medical problem, any kind of an alcoholic addiction, substance abuse.
absolutely.
You actually can come to know facets of the person, the personality of the
Yeah,
individual, and it's not necessary
absolutely.
that the one you love you end up in the same relationship. So anything you need to add, Nilima, to live in relationships?
Uh, be with the partner, but maintaining a safe distance,
Okay, wonderful,
which will
wonderful.
not damage your life, neither other person's life.
Wonderful, wonderful. That is so wonderful a thought given by Neelima Mohol. So Neelima, it's like we are just ending up the session. We are left with the last two questions. So what is that one message for the host of the show? Like, you have seen my episodes, and I'm so honored to have you
Yeah,
on board this talks. The whole
same
journey
here.
has been by you. So what is your take on Gurleen? How do you view Gurleen as? Because you have come to know me for the very first time virtually. I would love to meet you in
Yeah,
person. But what
same here.
actually made you connect to me, and what actually inspired you?
Yeah, connect you is even I'm a writer, and when you
Wonderful.
send me a friend request, I said
Yes.
okay. I mean, I immediately didn't accept, but then when I
Yes.
accepted it, I read through your profile, and then I said we
True.
have many things in common.
Yes.
We have many things in common. It's not only your
Exactly.
profession, but a prolific writer, our somehow we being emotional,
True.
many things. We love
True.
music, we
True.
write because this is going to help people to reach out easily through our
True.
writings. And through your
Very true.
show, people are really getting help.
Yeah.
Many professional people are coming on your stage, on your
Yes.
show, and that is
Yes.
helping them giving recognition,
True.
worldwide
True.
recognition they get.
Yes.
So
Yes.
it should,
That's
it should be a boom, and it will be a
exactly.
boom.
I am so honored by your words, and I appreciate you because I know all those souls across the globe who would be watching this episode, whether it's Michelle Maras, time and again, I need to thank her for guiding me to be a transformational speaker, always guiding me with certain tips. Gary Barnes, Ingrid Pica, who actually started the seed of thought as to why deep talks should be there, Gurleen. I mean, you can conquer the globe. Why are you not doing it? After attending the Mastery Bootcamp, I realized I had it in me always, but I always kept underestimating me somewhere. So there was something that people were watching and were knowing that I have it, but I was just exploring and diving deep into my own ocean of thoughts. So, my dear viewers, it's not necessary that every time you think good about yourself, you can also underestimate yourself. And Nilima has rightly pointed out that maybe she did not accept my request at the first go, but when she found out some similar interests, she actually hooked onto it and she felt there is something more to this mystery woman. So I'm really very honored, Nilima. I have written few lines for the counselors and I would love to share them for the viewers, the ones who will be watching this episode. It is a dedication to you and to all those people who are related to mental health profession. Being a counselor, I pondered to strike a chord, a connect that sorts not only the issues but the rotten thoughts, attaching loyalty, integrity, respect, confidentiality doesn't come easy. In weathers of lost hope and faith, we sound as professionals sometimes crazy. All it takes is an angle of vision to walk in with confidence. And we, as counselors, Heal the stories of ego and dominance. A bar
Very
I
true.
raise for the society and nation. Deep Talks is a program, my dear friends, no doubts, with a hearty connection and a celebration. That was a
Very
dedication
true.
to you, to all the psychotherapists, to all the counselors. With whatever time I got, I felt this needed to be aired because this episode is very dear to me. Because one of my admirers, one of my fans, and one of a psychotherapist, alongside someone who's of the similar interest, is there on with
Yes.
me. And I am so happy, so glad that I came across someone who's sitting in Bombay and has taken out her time. My dear viewers, if you watch this episode, after this finishes, I would love you to comment if you really like this because it is something serious we discussed and it is something that's very meaningful. Thanks a lot, Nilima, for joining me.
I would like to
And
add something.
yeah, why not?
Yeah, I would like to add something. I
Why
mean, the
not?
way you conduct your shows, you make
Yeah.
people very comfortable.
Thanks
Secondly,
a
seriously,
thanks a
uh,
lot.
I would like to share one of my experience.
Why
I was,
not? Go ahead.
yeah, I was one of the panel speakers. I think I had
Okay.
shared with you for the Marathi show, Ayuwadlanshi Sawad. That is a
Okay.
conversation with parents.
Okay.
Okay, how it is lacking and how it is affecting the children. So,
Yes.
children are like a blooming bird, which
Yes.
if not taken care at the right time,
Exactly.
they will collapse. They will
True.
die.
Very true.
So, you need to take care of the blooming bird around you,
Very,
with you, at the
very
time when they really need you.
true. Very true. I'm so honored that you said this.
And
And
yeah,
yes, yes, please
and
go
it
on.
was so amazing. I mean, it was aired on the DD Sahyadri channel, and
Okay.
there were questions coming up and children talking, and it was amazing experience. And the way children opened up to this concept, it was really surprising. Like even the parents were sitting in the show, and but still they had the courage to open up their mind and speak out the truth.
Very right, very right. What you have pointed
Yeah,
out in the end of the show is something that's always coming across as something that has always been there with a speaker who comes in on the love seat and always says that, Gurleen, you make us feel so comfortable. I think I need to actually look into the factor that how I do that. It comes so naturally to me. And maybe that's the reason why there are so many friends across the globe or somewhere where we connect and there's a divine intervention happening. And suddenly, and so positively, I also hope that people feel comfortable with me. Most importantly, I do feel that the man who walks in the light or the one who's already there feels comfortable always along, the stress he has, or it reduces to a level where he always feels positive and happy around me. And I feel that important thing is that how we build on from where we are and from where
yeah,
we outgrow our negative outlook to be the person who we can be in a positive way. If we remain stagnant there, we are destroying not only us, we are destroying everybody around us. So I have been
yeah,
connecting people and growing up, and I think that this deep talks was a venture which was lying dormant inside my mind, and I kicked off over a cup of tea, and I felt that it is the need of the hour to actually plant this on a day where it was Children's Day. And I felt November 14th, when we celebrate this Deep Talks emergence, we will actually have a party and we will have a virtual party in case if this pandemic is not over. So, Nilima, thanks
yes.
again for calling me with such sweet and kind words. I appreciate, I honor, and I respect you and your profession, and equally my profession. I feel people should connect to psychologists, and I truly say Jai Hind. Thank you so much, Nilima.
Thank you so much.